That's why. G'day everyone, Granitor here again, and today we're joined by a special guest, the Loremaster of Sotek. Say g'day, mate.
Hello.
And we're just going to walk. Sotek's, I hope I'm saying that right. Sotek, is it? Yep.
Yep.
Cool. We're just going to do some points from the tabletop view because Sotek's, like I said, a Loremaster, and he's very knowledgeable with the tabletop area. And I myself have done Total War online battles and the campaign battles for a long time. So together we make a good match. So first of all, I'm just going to start.
So.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'm just going to first talk about the Total War points of view, my thoughts on the DLC practice, and I'll get your thoughts as well. Okay. I'll start off with the way I feel about that, and the full game was the full game, and DLC used to mean you'd get the full game expansion, not a faction in the game taken out of it. And should the price of the game go down if they rip out them factions? And also, I used to pre-order a lot of the collector's editions because I liked the figurines and all that. And I got the Napoleon one, I got the medieval one. The only ones I haven't got is Shogun and Rome 2 and Attila. I just didn't seem interested. But they used to come out with the unique units, not factions, as the pre-order bonus. So that's my thoughts on that. And I don't really like the DLC practice at all. I think they're starting to have a lend of us now because we used to get the full game for that price. And what's your thoughts on that, mate?
Since I uploaded a video on the topic, I've talked to a lot of my viewers, and I would say that I have a fairly, I guess I would call it, I don't know, new age approach to it, in that I tend to be the kind of buyer that I don't even tend to even look at getting a game unless I'm really invested in it, which Total War Warhammer is like my thing. Like, that's what I've been waiting for.
That's right.
That being said, I do agree with a lot of the controversy that this was a really shady move. I can't say for certain if whether or not the faction was 100% ready to go and it was going to be 100% ready to go and they decided to cut it out, or if it was more like the situation we had with Blood Bowl 2, which came out about a month ago, which they had an idea of what they were going to do, but it kept getting pushed back and pushed back. And when they finally announced a release date, they decided to go ahead and offer us the Lizardmen and the Wood Elves, but their situation kind of blew over because there was problems at launch, and they decided to go ahead and release Lizardmen and Wood Elves for free anyway, instead of leaving them as a pre-order bonus.
Yep.
But that being said, I have a weird position because I was going to pre-order anyway, and on this particular subject, it's hard for me to break down my excitement in order to be pathetic enough, so to speak.
Right. Yeah, I understand fully.
That being said, after talking to a lot of my viewer base, I do feel very, very strongly that if Chaos, and this was a misunderstanding on my part, games I have played where there's been a pre-order bonus that wasn't purely cosmetic, it was eventually released like a month later for free to everyone.
Okay.
But from what I've been told, that could very well not be the case.
No, you'll have to buy it. If you don't order, pre-order and get the Chaos, you will have to buy it for like $4 Australian, something like that, or whatever American dollars.
I don't like that. I mean, I think that's not very genuine, so to speak.
No. Well, the problem is when you're talking about young kids buying it now, 16, 15, they haven't got the money to buy it. And there was a good point I seen. One young fella done a comment, and he said, "I'm getting it for my birthday, and my birthday's in March. So what? I miss out on Chaos Warriors because my parents are buying it for my birthday, and my birthday's in March, and it comes out in April. So he's getting penalised because he hasn't got the money to pre-order it, obviously.
Right.
Because he's getting it for his birthday, and it's in March. So he has to miss out on Chaos Warriors, and then he has to ask his parents to buy him that again, you know what I mean? Which they'll already say, oh, we just bought you the game. So He gets penalised because
Right.
his birthday's later. So they're really not thinking of the younger customers as well, and that's pretty sad.
I agree with that. I think it would have been much smarter for them. I really wish it had been like, hey, if you pre-order, you get Wurzag for free.
Mm-hmm.
An extra legendary lord, or maybe like
Exactly.
Codex Thunder.
Yep.
But so hopefully, I doubt it, but hopefully they might budge a little bit on the
Yep.
subject. Because I
Hopefully.
agree 100% that if this is seriously the Chaos Warrior release and that's it, like
Mm-hmm.
there's no. Granted, there's a lot of things I'm curious about because there seems to be a lot of the faction missing.
Yep.
Seeming to be saved for a later release date. But if this is literally it, and this is the only way you can get Warriors of Chaos is to either pre-order or pay money, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Well, anyway, we'll go on to the next point. We've gone on about that one, so we've done our thoughts, and I thought they're very valid. I've also heard a lot of people worried about the state of the game when it launches, like Rome 2 was. Rome 2 was unplayable. It was bugged. And people are saying, oh, well, now they've got the refund system with Steam, you can just refund it. That is not plausible in my idea, because the thing is, they fixed Rome 2 and made it playable.
Right.
So if you get Warhammer and it's bugged at the start and it's unplayable and you get the refund, when they fix it, what are you going to do? You're going to buy it again? So this refund thing just doesn't work. It's just anyone who says the refund thing, it just doesn't work. Okay, you're not thinking hard enough, because you want the game, and when your mates are saying, oh, you refunded it, now it's fixed, oh, you're going to go and buy it again. So yeah, I think that's a point that's just should be wiped off the map now, the refund thing, because yeah, you're going to buy it again if they fix it, and they will fix it. They won't leave the game bugged in a bugged state, because now everyone from tabletop's coming across. There is going to be millions and millions of people on their back. So yeah, they're going to fix it quite quick. Yeah, if it is bugged, but
Yeah,
I doubt it will be.
I'm really hoping that we're gonna get. Well, I don't know if launch itself will be smooth, because I don't know if I've ever seen a smooth launch like the last 5 years.
That's right. Yeah, it's unheard
but
of.
Within the week, within the first day, for that day one patch that everyone should probably expect. But within the day one patch, and this could just be me being very naive, but I have a really good feeling about this game, just due to how public they've been with, okay, when we show you the Battle of Thunder Falls, this is the kind of, this is a system we're using. This is how accurate this is to the actual game.
Okay.
This is how much this is working.
Yep.
Obviously, this game's going to be huge, which means
That's
inevitably there's going to be something wrong day one. I don't know if that's avoidable. I'm expecting bugs, and my words of caution to people I've talked to, which has been a lot of people about this, is if you're really worried about bugs, but you decide to go ahead and get the game for some reason, until you know for certain, like you pre-order is because you want chaos. There's a fair possibility. Yeah. So if someone pre-orders and they get chaos, they want to wait, or not, they think about refunding, I would really suggest find a streamer, someone you trust, who has a valid opinion, have some play, and if the game looks good, great, play.
That's right.
So the important thing with those refunds is you only get a 2-hour max.
Yep.
Until it's no longer refundable, and the bug might not be apparent within that 2-hour period.
But you're not going to refund, because the CA are good at fixing it now. You know what I mean? And like I said, they're going to be onto it. They're just going to be patching like nothing else. And it's a whole different team too. It's not the historical team doing this. It's a whole different team. And they do have a Loremaster right there next to them. They have a bloke who's a Loremaster there with them. So you can expect that he'll be into them.
Yeah, I genuinely hope and believe. I really believe it's going to be a great launch. I know that's not the most popular opinion, but
I think it will, because they've learnt their lesson with Rome. That's why you're seeing not in-game footage. You know what I mean? It's just the engine playing the game, because in Rome they lied to us when they showed us the Battle of Carthage. It was
I remember that.
It was in-game engine, and they didn't tell us that. So they've lied to us now, and they've learnt their lesson. That doesn't work, and a lot of people I know actually just quit the game. Like my old clan master, my old clan leader, he quit Total War altogether. So and then I took over the clan when he left. So that's just he had a look at Warhammer and said, no, I'm not going to play that, just off what he's seen. So for him, it's really sour,
Right.
put a sour taste in his mouth, and he's never going to play again. So there are people like that.
Right.
And a lot of Total War clans have just shut up shop, and they're not doing the clan thing anymore. We've kept going, we've kept struggling through, and a lot of our clanmates still play the game, and we still have fun with it, Rome too. But I know a hell of a lot of people who don't, you know what I mean? And
Yeah. Well, let's. I very much hope that this is the start of a new golden age for CA, so to
for
speak.
sure, like Shogun 2 was, yeah. They should have kept the
Oh yeah.
avatar system, but that's a whole new can of worms. Anyway, we'll go into the Warhammer points I want to ask you, and your points of view on that. Just with the
Okay.
Empire troops, I would like to know whether you think they should have more men in each unit to counter the insane beasts and trolls and all that. Do you think they should have more men in the unit?
I actually don't, because in tabletop, the Empire is very reliant on having a balanced force. And
Yep.
that, yeah, you can take a superhuge army of infantry, but those are really rare.
Yeah.
The Empire tends to rely on having really awesome, solid mix between war machines to deal with large monsters,
Okay.
backed up by shooting of different kinds, with piercing shots being your handgunners or
Handgunners, yep.
your archers, followed by your heavy cavalry like the Reichsguard or Inner Circle Knights,
Uh-huh.
followed by your elite infantry like great swords and
Yep.
the detachment. Because I guess this is what I would answer that question with: the detachment.
Yep.
So the way that works is the Empire, to get those extra bodies on the field to deal with large enemy elite blocks,
Mm-hmm.
is they can deploy with a smaller unit attached to the parent unit that's able to essentially flank the enemy that charges them, to give us a little bit of a morale stabilizer,
Yep.
to give them a chance against like warriors chaos, who are more elite than anything the infantry of the Empire can even hope to offer.
Okay, good.
But
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
that being said,
No worries.
I would be surprised to see the detachment system, but I think things like Jimmy Griff Knights and Hellblaster volley guns and all that will hopefully make a difference.
Yeah. So they do have the hand cannons as well, which is the orcs don't, and yeah, so that kind of does make it worthwhile there, not to make the units a larger size. Yeah, so I understand what you mean. They've got better armor piercing units, so they can take down the big.
Well, the Empire has the unique position in Warhammer, in that they literally have every kind of thing in the game available to them.
Yep. Yep.
Which is so they can customize for any fight if they have to.
Yeah, so it makes up for a little bit of squishiness in the units. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, at least they're not elves.
Yeah, true, exactly right. Elves, but elves are quick, aren't they? So you got that part as well with the elves. And also, will the lords be too OP? And will they have to really have things to counter them and concentrate on that? That's another thing I was wondering about.
I think the lords will be strong. But I think if they are abandoned by themselves just to fight against even most units, okay, you have a fighter lord. So if you're an orc and you've got a black orc war boss, I would expect him to be able to handle most forms of infantry. But if you up against like Imperial Greatswords, then I would expect him to be a butcher.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, it seems like flyers and magic are going to be the most useful way to deal with characters, is trying to isolate and try and shoot all of the flyers out of the sky, then begin focusing on their backlines where most of their characters will likely be hiding. Seems wizards are going to be the most important of characters. I don't think the fighting lord stuff will be too bad, because it seems like they're going to rely more on making people fly all over the place with significant impact, as opposed to actually killing a bunch of people.
Okay.
I think characters will also be much more reliant on special abilities. So for the Empire, it's like Witch Hunter. If he's like he's in tabletop, the Witch Hunter will be your assassin character.
Okay.
So during the battle, he'll probably have special abilities that allow him to focus down on characters and do bonus damage.
Okay.
So if you're an Empire player and you're being harassed by an Empire account player, can send your witch hunter after him, pretty reliably shoot and murder that guy.
There you go. Yeah, see, so he'll be able to have skills to be able to kill lords, so to speak. Yeah, and
right.
big units.
I
Yeah,
think
awesome.
every army's lords will have a unique function. Like vampire counts will probably have really powerful lords, but if their lords die, the army begins to just absolutely fall apart.
Yep. Okay.
Whereas the Empire,
Yep.
Their lords, yeah.
Yep. So So the vampire counts are just going to be OP, but if you do concentrate and get them down, that's the whole army gone. Yeah. So they're going to be their weakness. Yeah. That's a good point there. Yep. Excellent. And just another point. Should CA put all the unique unit troops in the game, like the ones I was talking about with the Death's Heads and the Stir River Patrol and all that? Like, should they be put into the game as mercenaries to hire, or should you get them through quests?
I think either of those would be a really awesome, acceptable option. It seems, from what I've seen, that they're very lore-heavy with Easter eggs. So having the ability to get our hands on some of the really famous units that make up every army's battalions seems like a really awesome way to incentivize players to go down a particular quest line or to do things of that. So, like, for instance, in Show 2, you could do certain quests that allowed you to get a unique bit unit.
Excellent.
I forget what they were called.
Yeah, that's a good
idea. I would
idea.
expect something very similar to, if you're playing Orcs and Goblins, that you should be able to get your hands on the Death Heads by doing something like a little, just a little side quest. They shouldn't necessarily be amazing, but they should be, a little bit better. Just a few more percentage points in every attribute.
I think it'd be cool if you had your army and you had to go and kind of save them from a battle they were besieged or something. You know what I mean? And if it was really hard to save them, kind of thing. But if you did, you actually got them. That one troop in your army, and I used to love the like when I played Shadow of the Horn Rat. I used to love getting the gens that had the unique, rich background story behind them. You know what I mean? That was a favourite part of mine when I'd get the unit. Is just the background story of them made them more unique.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, if I play Empire and I don't get my hands on some Carlsberg greatswords, I'm pretty upset.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they are unreal.
I mean, sure, greatswords are cool, but you gotta have the Carlsberg greatswords to really be the real deal.
Yeah, and their story, how they had the Whistleland battle and completely wiped them out, is awesome there. I like that little story. Yeah, you'd know more about that, wouldn't you?
It's not like... Well, oftentimes. Plus, I would say that fantasy also has a good thing of not being oversaturated with named units. There's not really that many famous regiments. No. Usually for every unit, there's like one or two. So I think fitting the game would not be a struggle, and it's something we could moderately safely expect. I expect to see it, but I would be like super upset if I didn't. But I hope to see it.
Yeah, I hope to see it too. That's my fun. Like in the game, would be getting them units and putting them in my army and looking after them and making sure they got really good skill points. Just that kind of part will be awesome for me. I'd love that. So that's about all the points I've got at the moment. I think everything else has been covered pretty well. And thank you very much for helping me out with that, mate. Just a few points from the tabletop point of view. So everyone, make sure you leave in the comments. Thank you very much for Sotek for coming along and helping us out there. And hopefully everyone is a bit more clear on some finer points of the game. And the one I want to make sure is if you don't like the game at the start and it is a bit buggy, hold in there and do not refund it, because they will fix it. That is one thing I'm going to stress.
Amen to that.
Yeah, they will fix it. That's one thing they will do. So they won't leave you hanging, won't leave you playing a bug game for too long. My opinion is the next day they'll fix it if there's anything wrong with the game, because they will hear about it real quick. Okay, thank you very much for joining us, mate. I appreciate it. And and be sure to check out Sotek's channel. I do have it in my related channels there on the side. So it's channels to check out / my mates. So click on that and subscribe to him, and you'll get all your lore history in depth. It's very good videos. No worries. Thanks for coming, mate. Excellent, buddy.
No problem.
We'll talk to you soon, peoples. Stay cool.